I'm Dave and this is Logan out on another walk in the New Forest. Thanks for joining us. Now today we're at a place called Rockford, which is in the northwest corner of the New Forest, about a couple of miles north of the town of Ringwood. Now today we're going to be doing roughly about a 4-mile circular route that's going to take in some beautiful lakes, some lovely woodland, some heathland and all sorts of interesting things along the way, so do join us. Now we're right beside a disused sandpit, so before we do anything else, one of us is going to have a bit of fun. See you in a minute. Well, we're going to start our walk just by the edge of Rockford Common, a little National Trust sign there, and then you can see in the far distance the sandpit, disused sandpit that Logan has just enjoyed. And just by me here, just on the edge of Rockford Common, is the Moyles Court Oak, and I think it's my favourite tree of the forest, you know. Officially the oldest oak tree in the forest is the Nightwood oak at near Lyndhurst, and she's known as the Queen of the Forest. In fact, we came across her on our Milliford Bridge walk. But many people believe that this tree is just as old. It's got to be at least 600 years old, even if it has suffered some dieback. And it has a lesser girth than the Nightwood oak. It's about 7 metres in girth, but it's been growing much more slowly than the Nightwood. It's probably only grown about 1.2 metres since 1862. But lovely to see the leaves coming out. And then just to the side, this lovely little ford, and we've parked our car just over there. And just behind those trees is the Moyles Court School, which, well, originally it was the manor house of Rockford and Ellingham, and in the 17th century was home to Dame Alice Lisle. I'll tell you more about her later. It was also requisitioned as a station headquarters for the nearby RAF Ibsley during World War II. Right, well, we're just leaving Moyles Court, and we're now going to head towards the little village or hamlet of Rockford. And as you can see, we've got a little bit of company. We're filming in middle of May, and it looks as though it's going to be a really beautiful day. It's only just 7:15, and yet sun's out already. It really is quite glorious today, and temperature is just perfect. Well, we've been heading south following a little road and just come by a gorgeous little pub, the Alice Lisle pub. Let me show you. And there it is, just through the trees. 17th century pub, I say, named after the lady who lived at Moyles Court just up the road. And although Alice was a royalist. She sheltered 2 wounded fugitives fleeing from James II's army after Monmouth was defeated at the Battle of Sedgemoor in 1685. And she was condemned and executed on the 2nd of September 1685 at Winchester. And she was the last woman to be executed by the judicial sentence of beheading in England. And apparently her ghost haunts one of the bars, and her body is buried at nearby Ellingham Church. Oh, these lovely bluebells. That's coming up. Ooh, amphibian conservation in action. Better watch out for those, Logan. Okay, well, we're going to now leave this little road and we're going to join the Avon Valley Path. So we're now going to head into the Blashford Lakes Nature Reserve, and looks like you're going to have to stay on the lead for a little bit, fella. And for the next part of the walk, hopefully we're going to see some beautiful lakes, quite a few of them. Isn't that a beautiful sight, with the morning sun glinting off or reflecting in the water there. So this is Blashford Lake. Well, the Blashford Lakes Nature Reserve was started or established in 1996. I think it's about 360 acres, managed by the Wildlife Trust in partnership with the New Forest District Council and various landowners such as Wessex Water. And well, in the 1900s, this area was subject to a series of gravel extractions. That's why there's so many lakes around here. It's now very much a haven for wildlife, particularly thousands of wildfowl. We've been walking along the western side of Blashford Lake. And now, as you can see, there's a sailing club based here. Looks like there's quite a few sailing activities. Ooh, yeah, what a lovely place to have a veranda. Beautiful views looking across. Wonderful. I'm still making my way south. I've got Blashford Lake on my left. I will turn around, but the sun might be directly in the screen, so you might not see a great picture there. But on my right hand side, again, I can just about see some glimpses of it. There's a much smaller lake called Snails Lake, and again, that would have originally been a nice little seat to enjoy the view. Now, I will try and poke the camera through and try and get some views. You probably see more of the lake in the winter when there aren't any leaves on the trees. Well, we're shortly going to say goodbye to the Avon Valley Path and head east, but we've now come past another lake called the Limbrook Lake. I'm going to have to put my camera above the fencing. Isn't that beautiful? Now that lake's got quite almost a turquoisey colour to it. I don't know if that's coming across on screen. This lake is about 20 acres, about 12 foot deep in places. Apparently very good for carp and tench fishing. Oh, lovely little stream. And this is the Lynn Brook, which flows off the forest and eventually goes into the lakes and then out into the River Avon. But lovely clear bed. Don't jump, Logan, please. But I imagine this gets quite deep in the winter, looking at the gully. Another crossing of the Lynn Brook. I'm guessing it does flood from time to time. 6 feet. But, a lovely oak tree in the background, and then looks like a little weir here. Okay, so we've said goodbye to our tour of the lakes. And that's the first car I've seen, and we're now continuing to head west and gonna make our way onto some beautiful heathland, and looking forward to some great views up there as well. I was going along this little country lane, and it's so peaceful. And some of the scenery around here. There's some more bluebells still out and about, and lovely rolling meadows, trees, as I said before, now in full foliage. And I say it's that perfect temperature, sort of 12-14 degrees, so not too hot so that you overheat. And it's that time of year where there's still not loads of flies around. One of the little challenges that we have on the forest in the height of the summer is these things called crab flies. They're like normal flies, but they really stick to you. Normally if you fly lands on you, you just sort of shake it off. But these crab flies, when they land on you, even if you shake your arm, they just stick to you. They're quite annoying. Logan hates them. But I say we haven't had to worry about those today. From time to time, I keep coming across these lovely thatched cottages. Quite spectacular. We're now coming off that little road, and now going to follow this little footpath that's going to head north again. Again, another lovely thatched building on my right, and this is going to take us uphill onto the heathland. It's going to get a little bit dark for a little bit because it's got quite a big, a significant canopy of holly. Still heading uphill. Oh wow, look at these. More bluebells. I love the way they catch the light in the morning sunshine. Isn't that beautiful? All the way right into the back there. Oh, I do love this time of year. Now made our way up onto some heathland, a place called Bigsburn Hill, and as you can see, we're now much more of the mixture of now gorse and gravelly tracks. And somewhere around here there's a Bronze Age barrow, as well as a World War II slit trench with metalwork cut into the top. Might have been a possible gun site on the hill, but I've never been able to find it. Well, I know that once rhododendron gets established on the forest, it can be a bit of a thug, but nevertheless, when it is out in bloom, it is a beautiful colour. Certainly the bees love it. Yeah, just looking around. Just behind those trees is a lovely little thatched cottage, right stuck out in the middle of nowhere. What a beautiful place to live. Well, we've now made our way off Bigsburn Hill, and now I can show you the vast open area that is now Rockford Common. I know sometimes views don't always come across too well on the GoPro, but it is magnificent, it really is. And this does get quite popular with tourists and dog walkers later on, but the time to come is first thing in the morning, and then you'll get it to yourself. Well, we're just making our way to the edge of Rockford Common. I don't know if you can make out, just in the distance is a ridge, and if you look on an Ordnance Survey map of the area, it's called a pillow mound, and it's actually part of a medieval rabbit keeping setup. And there would have been lowish stone mounds covered in earth, usually on a slope to facilitate drainage, so it is actually man-made. Anyway, there's a little seat on top, and that's where we're heading. Well, I'm on top of the pillow mounds, and from here you get some of the most beautiful views in the whole forest, well, in my opinion anyway. So let me just show you. So this is looking north, and in the far distance that woodland plantation, that's Newlands plantation, and in there is the RAF Ibsley World War II Battle Command HQ that Logan and I explored on a different video. Do check that one out. And then just panning over to the right, even further away, that's the Whitefield plantation, and just before or just beyond there is the Huff Duff that Logan and I explored again in that Ibsley video. If you want to know what a Huff Duff is, you'll have to look at the video. And then just panning around, this is looking over to the west, right in the far distance. I don't know if you can see, it's quite a hazy day. I'll try and put a photo up, but that is the stately home of or Summerley House, built in the 1700s, home to the Earl of Normanton. And then just panning, try not to get the sun in the lens, but that's looking south, and again, that's where we've come from, Bigsburn Hill. Well folks, we've come to the end of our walk. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like, thumbs up, and do make a comment. And if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe, and that way hopefully you'll be able to join us for another walk sometime in the future. We've had a super walk today, the weather's been wonderful, and well, the views quite stunning. So until we meet again, thanks for watching, and cheerio. Right, do you fancy another go in that sand pit? I think he does.